Evening, this is Len Marshall again with Chapter 3 of Independence for Independence. We're here to discuss a few of the things that we need to do to make things better in this country. It's not the little things anymore. It's not the get out the vote drives. It's not all these little things that we can do, paper drives or whatever else. We need to do major work, and it's going to take a lot of effort. So I'm going to ask you all to just hang in there a bit, and I'll try and explain some of it to you. All right, we've been working for years on a little thing called an amendment to the Constitution. Maybe you don't even remember it, but the Equal Rights Amendment has been in limbo for, I believe, close to 40 years now. It needs 3 more votes to pass. And we need 3 more states, legislatures, to pass Equal Rights Amendment, which will make things much better for everybody in the country. The reason it hasn't passed is because it puts a lot of people in business out of business. All right? The race prostitutes, the women prostitutes who want everything for women and nobody else. All the other groups that want to have a voice beyond their own voice. They want to be in control when there's no reason to. We're a constitutional republic. Everybody's supposed to have an equal voice, which we don't have, and you know that. All right, the Equal Rights Amendment actually says that everybody is equal under the law. Gee, what a concept. That's what why the Constitution was written originally, trying to get to that point. 200 plus years ago, it wouldn't have flown. There's too many things. But in today's world, is a black man equal to a white man, equal to a Hispanic man, or a woman? Of course they are. We've all gotten past, most of us, not all of us, because there are a few out there in the world that are very bigoted in many ways. All right, under the law, we're all equal. Very simple. It would get rid of all the problems we have with the equal pay issues that we have throughout the country, where we have people getting paid different things, women getting paid less, supposedly, than a man. It does happen. But equal pay for equal work, and everything equal under the law. The law sees a person, not a black person, not a white person, not a male, not a female. It doesn't matter. It would fix a lot of the problems that we have. It would stop this nonsense with gay marriages that's allowed here and not allowed there. It would get rid of the problems with the IRS as far as married and unmarried and so forth. Everybody's equal. Come on, United States, let's get with it. We're working on that. That's one of the things that will help. Something that really has to be done, and it's going to be a major change, and there's going to be a lot of yelling and screaming from all the different sectors. It can't be done. We don't want to do this. It's going to change what's going on. I'm going to lose my house. I'm going to lose my job. I'm going to lose my country. Yeah, they're right. All right, and what I'm talking about is a little known item. It's actually called originally Article the First. Originally, there were 12 amendments to the Constitution. We were all taught in school that 10 of them have passed, and that's what we now call the Bill of Rights. Well, we were taught wrong. Some cases it was on purpose. In some cases, the information just disappeared. All right, Article the Second was also supposedly not passed. And to show you how far things get hundreds of years later, Article the Second basically says the pay for representatives, they cannot vote their own pay in the year that they vote for it. Basically, it's very simple. All right, so they can't vote themselves a raise in the election cycle that they're in. Has to wait for the next election cycle. All right, very simple. Well, yeah, we have a 27th Amendment, 1992, that was passed. That says exactly that, and after they passed it, they found the original paperwork that shows that it was passed, I believe, in 1792. So things get lost. All right, a lot of things get lost. Everything back then was by hand. Some printing press, but manual printing presses. We didn't have computers. We didn't have emails. Everything went on horseback or by hand. A lot of things got lost. And something else got lost. A lot of the documents of the early United States were disappeared and burned in a little skirmish called the War of 1812. When the British came back and wanted to take the country back. Well, they took over Washington. They burned the Capitol. All right? Archives and the Congressional Library was in the Capitol. Everything, all the documents and books that were there were lost. All right? Article the First, which I'm going to get to now, we have put together the documentation, the books, and all the information showing that it was actually passed and it was actually, ratified, which is the actual word for it, which makes it part of the Constitution, back in 1792. We've been told that it didn't exist. Well, what Article the First says is that the representation that we're supposed to have throughout the countryside is one person per every 50,000 people. Okay, we have nowhere near that right at the moment. I believe, for example, in New Jersey, we're one representative for every 720,000 people. Way out of step, way out of regulation. Okay, and what Article the First did is actually put directions in how we get to that point. Because originally in the Constitution, Article 1, Section 2, I do believe, shows we're supposed to have one representative for every 30,000 people. And then it shows the representation that we were going to get at that time. There was a few here, a few there for each state. Article the First went further on and it expanded it and showed how it's supposed to grow as the country grew. At this point, we're supposed to have one representative for every 50,000 people. Now you're going to say, my God, that's crazy. Well, no, it's not, because for a good example here in New Jersey, we have 120 senators and assemblymen, which is about the number of congressmen that we're supposed to have. So yeah, it's doable. Yeah, and we're looking 6,200 people in a new Congress, which is fine because the old Congress is broken and doesn't work. It has to be torn down, torn down and rebuilt. And this is the way to do it. We need people to actually come up and challenge the federal government, which is what we've been doing. We're challenging the federal government to enforce the Constitution. We need people to come help us do that. We have the documents. We have the people. All right. The Archivist of the United States has been notified. The chairman of the Commerce Department, who actually takes care of the Constitution, has been notified, as had all the senators and congressmen that were sitting as of 2 years ago. In person, by hand. And nothing has happened and nothing is said, and you almost never see it reported. We can change the country. We should change the country. The Constitution is there for us to use and to help us put it back on track. If we don't put it back on track and get a Congress that works, we're finished, because we can't fix the rest of the laws until that happens.